Leo, so I wanted to talk to you face to face really quickly and tell you about the messages that I was getting for you coming into your reading. And if you don't like it, you can just skip till you don't see my face anymore. I thought that would make it easier, since I really am not a fan of talking without looking at the camera because I feel like it's a weird dynamic. However, I don't always look good enough by my standards to be on camera, but I figured since I am today and I'm ready, the stars have aligned to do this reading and get it done. So I wanted to talk to you about the messages that came in. Before I get to anything negative, which I think is merely a precautionary side note, I do want to say all the positive energy that I'm feeling. Right away I got the song. I mean, this is a throwback, okay? I only know it because I used to sing, and the Carpenters are like a really good group to sing. Karen Carpenter had an amazing voice, so she's like an aspiration, right? So the song is On Top of the World by the Carpenters. It came out in 1973. That was before I was even born, okay? So it's old to everyone, probably. Yeah, so part of the reason why I wanted to do this, I don't know if I need to. You know what? I'm not going to. You can look up the words yourself, for the sake of time on that one, because it is what it sounds like. And it's like a love song, and she's basically attributing all of these amazing feelings of being on top of the world, looking down on all creation, and the only explanation she can find is the love she's found ever since this person's been around, right? So that was the first song I got for you. And then The Taste of Ink by The Used, which takes it to a whole nother level. Okay, first of all, The Taste of Ink, because I do want to quote you some of these words. In case you don't know The Used, they're like an emo band from the 2000s, I believe. So the very first, like the beginning of the song goes, "Is it worth it? Can you even hear me? Standing with your spotlight on me." We're just going to go along because he says some similar kind of sentiments, like this, the feeling of the song. It's all about being free, right? That's what the song's about. It's not necessarily about love, even though he does say, "So here I am, it's in my hands, and I'll savor every moment of this. So here I am, alive at last, and I'll savor every moment of this." Okay, so that's not the part I'm thinking of, actually. Yeah, he says, "As long as you're alive, here I am, I promise I will take you there." Okay. It's not necessarily a love song. Apparently the song is actually about busting out of the nowhere town in Utah, where, I believe the founding members of the band are from. I don't know about all of them. They've had a shift in their band members, so I can't speak to like current lineup, right? So anyway, I won't go into the history of the band. However, I think that's kind of like another layer of what potentially could be going on with you or someone you know, because I've come to feel and believe that there's a reason. I mean, I always just kind of follow my guidance, right? I've learned that that's exactly what I need to do, and I encourage you. I feel like there's a message in there for you too, if you have an inclination. I mean, this is how you get things done. This is how you come to realizations. It's how you work with intuition, right? Okay. So if you have some weird urge to do something, no matter how weird it is, and I've probably said this before in other readings, but it is true, and I'll die on this hill, do it. If you feel like you need to leave a situation, do it. It doesn't matter how inconvenient it is or how weird you're gonna look, do it. There's a reason. And that's, you know, something I've known for a long, long time. I don't always follow it, but, you know, I almost always regret not following it, right? So I did that for your reading, and so basically, I mean, I really like The Used, big fan. I love a lot of emo bands, but also the reason I probably like this band as much as I do is because someone I dated around the time that The Used was popular back in the early 2000s, a guy I dated, it was like his favorite band. So I've seen The Used in concert, and all these things, okay? And the reason I bring that up is because I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe his birthday is April 3rd, the ex, and so he's an Aries, so I think maybe you could be dealing with an Aries. And then sometime, I think it was last night, I saw something about 4-3, and that just reminded me of that connection. I think it's important, I don't know, maybe it's just the number 43 or April 3rd, or it could be an Aries. So anyway, so I follow my inclination to, I don't know, to look up the song on YouTube. I don't remember exactly what I did, right? But I was on YouTube, and I was looking for something on The Used, or I was scrolling, I don't remember, but it doesn't matter, because then this song comes up by The Used from an album, I think it was the one they put out which was last year in May of 2023, called Toxic Positivity, and the name of the song that popped out at me was Top of the World. I'm not kidding. This is the name of a Used song, and I had already got, I think it's On Top of the World by the Carpenters, but either way, it's like the same title, right? So, and this also instilled the fact that maybe you're not dealing with an Aries, but you could be dealing with someone similar to the Aries that I dated, right? So this is where we get not negative, but precautionary, okay? The Aries that, I mean, I've dated several Aries, not gonna lie, but this one in particular, he had just lost his dad. Now, me as a medium, I often meet people who have just lost someone, and things like this, and back in the early 2000s, I was already aware of these things, so I don't want it to sound bad, but so like I kind of already felt like it was like me meeting him and connecting with him was a job, as I say, and I know that sounds bad, but like that's how I've come after decades, right? That's how I've come to see it, like that there was a reason instrumentally for me being there. Sorry, I need this coffee, Leo. I've been exhausted. I don't know if that's just me or what. I was trying to do your reading before Taurus's reading, and I was just so tired that, and Taurus felt more accessible, and I also felt pressure to do Taurus because I had cheated them out of a reading for the last cycle I did. I just did a reading for everyone, including you, Leo, where I believe the topic was something about having faith that something really good was coming. And when we take all of this together, right, the energy I'm feeling, the songs, I feel like this is possibly a continuation of that. Like, this is what's coming. Like, this is the really good thing that's coming. But I think potentially, and this could be you, I mean, this could be all about you, but potentially it could be about you and another person too. And I think maybe you might be ready to like jump in, charge, like this is the best thing in your life, right? Like like this, the sun is rising, it's a new day, and maybe you're super excited about, I mean, it doesn't have to be a connection, but like it could be anything, right? You're on top of the world. Maybe you're literally climbing a mountain. That was another thing. Sorry, I'm jumping a little bit. Another thing, like crazy synchronicity. So watch out for synchronicities as well. I got 43, and I got a bunch of sevens. 777, 7777, 7. any amount of sevens. 4 plus 3 is 7. So something about sevens important, potentially. So watch out for synchronicities. So anyway, where was I? Oh yes. Before, I don't know when it was, I got delayed because I'm working like 6 days a week at my like normal job, which reminds me, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. I'd love to quit my job so that I can put out more readings and not have to delay your reading, for example, for like 3 days because of my job and the fact that I have just a ton of stuff to do in my big giant house that I live in all by myself with my 14-year-old who, you know, helps, but how much can a 14-year-old girl really help, and how much can I really do? I mean, honestly, less and less. But that's off topic. So if you want to subscribe, Leo, please do. I need to get monetized so that I can put out readings just better and faster. I mean, that would be the dream, right? So, yeah. So I was working. I was at work, which I do from home on a computer, and I went to read the news, and on the Bing, I use Bing search engine. Sometimes I use other ones, but that's like my homepage. On the screen is a picture of, I don't know, it's like a castle or something in Greece, and maybe someone saw it. It's in Greece, and the little caption at the bottom, which I'm going to make this probably your thumbnail. So if you see the thumbnail, this is what I'm talking about. The little caption at the bottom said, "On top of the world." I'm not even kidding you. It's just the craziest synchronicities. I don't even know what to say about it. But either way, it's all very lovely, right? It's great energy. I'm not trying to qualify it or, you know, denigrate it in any way. But this song by The Used, which I'm convinced I was supposed to find, they also have a new album coming out literally in June. By the time you see this, it's probably going to be June. It just blows my mind, the synchronicities of everything. So this song, Top of the World by The Used, is not so positive. And this is where I feel like maybe you're dealing with something potentially inside of yourself, like a fear of success potentially, or another person who is kind of broken, not necessarily 100% like ready to jump in, like not as enthusiastic as you, right? Does that make sense? Because the first lines of this song are, "Without you, I'm nothing. There's a black hole on my heart. I'm hardly worth loving. Look at all my broken parts. The angels would laugh at the sight of my face." I mean, this is like painful. That's all I'm going to read, I think. "I don't understand it. Gave you reasons you should run." Right. "Sinking fast, but you hold on." Okay. "I wouldn't blame you for leaving me." Yeah. Okay. It's terrible, right? So, I don't know what to say about that aside from just be aware, be cautious. If somebody, and maybe this is a past situation. I didn't even think of that until right now. Like, so be aware of that in yourself, right? Like, of like insecurities popping up, and like the impulse to push people away, but also watch out for in other people. I mean, me personally, I've seen it quite a lot in other people, so I'm thinking it's probably the dynamic that we're talking about is probably like another person. And Leo energy is very bright. It can be overwhelming, I think, to other people. I have several Leo placements. I have a Leo moon, all in my first house. So it's like right up there in your face, right? And I definitely have, lived long enough to know that a lot of people are very triggered, very intimidated even by me and my energy. So I have to assume that a Leo sun would have the same experiences, very likely, right? Maybe not all of you, but probably a lot of you. So I think I did that with like lightning speed. I didn't expect to be so quick. I just wanted to get it out there. And I wanted to talk to you face to face because I really don't like my new setup the way I've been doing it. Oh yeah, another thing, my nails. I felt very strongly compelled to not do my nails, which I normally would do my nails. Okay, these are my real nails. They're not manicured. I had acrylics on up until a couple days ago. I was kind of letting them, heal and breathe and whatever. And I mean, normally I would have done them, but every time I went to do it, I was like, something was telling me no. So that's a message, right? You and or another person, I don't know, but there's like this need to be authentic, a need to show up authentically, not to hide the ugly parts, right? The imperfect parts. And maybe this is your job with someone else to make them realize that they don't have to hide. And I'm sorry about my voice. Like, for some reason, I started getting really emotional when I was looking over those lyrics and things. And my video looks like it's lagging, so I really hope it's not lagging for you. Okay, so I'm going to jump into a reading for you. It may or may not have anything to do with this. I don't know. It usually does, but we'll see. I'm going to keep an open mind. So I'm going to reassemble everything here, and we're going to start with some cards and some oracles. I'll see you in a minute.
Leos, I wish that I would have recorded my shuffling, because when I was shuffling this deck right here, getting ready for your reading, obviously I was, putting some Leo energy into the deck, asking for messages for you, and this card pops out. I put it on the bottom of the deck. That was the strength card, in case you didn't see. Another thing really quick, I saved this. I made a playlist so that I could show you that I was not lying about this song. Oh geez, you can't see that, huh? Oh gosh, why is the lighting so bad? Anyway, let me see if I can get it up. Well, I'm going to change the lighting. Anyway, the song right here. Why can't you see that? My playlist that I made, Toxic Positivity, Top of the World. Look it up if you don't believe me or if you can't see that. But I was floored, okay? I could not believe my eyes. Okay, so I'm trying to decide here. I think I'm just going to do a 3-card spread with clarifiers, and I'm going to play an oracle. I actually dug this deck out just for you because I was getting this vibe of like climbing a mountain, going somewhere, reaching a destination, and it just felt right. So we're going to pull from that at the end. Sometimes I feel like the oracles all we really need. Okay. I felt like I was going to say something else to you. Well, obviously watch out for toxic positivity, right? I couldn't ignore that name of that album. And that kind of is a vibe I was getting off the, like, the tension there between, like, the two different energies. Like, even if it's, like, with yourself, which is probably easier to explain for me in this moment, even if it's, like, you with yourself, right? Like, don't force yourself to have to, like I was saying with the nails and everything, don't force yourself to have to be something you're not in any given moment, right? Like, if you're not happy, if you're not perfect, if you're not put together, show up as you are. Don't try to be, like, fake positive, right? Like, I mean, I don't want to go on a long rant about that, but the whole, like, love and light, everything is, you know, shiny and whatever, like, totally against that. Like, that's no way to live. Like, you should live authentically, honestly, and be who you are in the moment, and feel what you need to feel. You don't have to push down. I mean, that's toxic. Pushing down your negative feelings and what have you is what's toxic about that. And I mean, and if you're dealing with another person, like, it's toxic to to try to force the environment, right? To, like, manage the environment to only support happy thoughts or what have you. Like, that's not real. That's not real life. So if someone is, like, for example, mourning something or going through something, like, they have to go through it. You can't just tell them to smile and ignore what they're feeling, because that's not how you heal, right? Okay. 3 cards for Leo. And when I was shuffling, by the way, I did see the 2 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. And I was kind of getting that vibe too. Like, if you're in a situation and someone's trying to push you away because they don't feel, like, lovable or whatever, you might have to make a decision whether to walk away or whether just to stick around, right? And, like, nurture the connection. And I think we've all been there. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we have number 13, the Death card, with the Queen of Swords in the middle and the Emperor on the back end. Alright. I'm going to clarify. At the bottom of the deck we have the Star. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the Star and the 10 of Cups. Come on now. And the Magician. Knight of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Leo, whatever this is about, I feel like the overarching message is to stick it out. And that might be why this is coming up, right? Like, as a warning, like, someone's going to try to push you away potentially. And I feel like it's saying, like, maybe you need to conjure up your strength and stick it out. I don't know how else to say it. I just keep hearing, like, stick it out. And that doesn't mean, like, stick around. You know, you can hold space for someone without being, like, in their space, right? Like, you can give someone their distance or whatever they need and still hold on, like, as the song was saying. it's not necessarily like the best feeling, it's not the best thing to go through, but you can always call them out on what they're doing too, right? Try to make them aware of their behavior and the underlying defense mechanisms involved, right? You can kind of tell them, like, look, I see through you. I see through this, the weird mind games and like the weird kind of back and forth. I don't know. Anyway, with the death card in the past, like, once again, I do think we could potentially be dealing with an actual death or someone mourning something, because that's come up now multiple times, and I'm feeling that in the energy, but either way, you could be dealing with a Scorpio or an Aries, so heavy Mars energy, but whatever this is, this death card, which I'll clarify in a second, right, like, it doesn't matter if it's a literal death or if it's just a death of something inside of you or inside of someone else, right? Like, it's about, like, fundamentally changing who you are. It's like when you come out on the other side of the death card, like, you are changed, right? Like, your beliefs change, your outlook on life changes, the way you live. And then that's kind of like a domino effect. If you really, really follow that and you're someone who likes to live by their convictions and live by their beliefs, like I do, and we have the Queen of Swords here, so I feel like that would be an accurate assessment or assumption, then everything changes. And this card is not called death, it's called transition. So I do feel like you or someone else is going through a transition. And whatever that transition is, they are coming out on the other side a little bit different. Like, they could just be still adjusting, right, to like a new reality. And whatever it is, it tends to give us greater clarity about life, death, whatever the case is. Like, it changes something about our vision so that we see things more clearly. But also, with the Queen of Swords here, I feel, she's the most defensive of all the queens. It's like she's open, but she's not, right? Like, she's quick to pull her sword. And this Queen of Swords in particular has her sword kind of across her whole body, like it's guarding her heart. So I feel like there's some of that going on. And once again, I don't know if this is like with you or someone else. I feel like it's someone else that you're dealing with, and I feel like that's why it's coming out, just like to let you know, like, look, this person is on the defense. Like, you might think you found, like the perfect person that you're meant to be with, and that might be true. Oh, excuse me, because we have the Emperor here. But I think it's going to take some time, and I think that it's going to be up to you whether or not you want to give it time. And if you feel that way, I don't think there's even a question. Like, I'm kind of stumped as to why that would even be a question, because I feel like when you know, and if you think you know, then you probably know. So why wouldn't you give it time? I don't know. But there's something, I guess, in your energy that might be just a little bit overzealous. So, maybe that's all. Maybe it's as simplistic as that. Alright, let's clarify. Wise transition here. The Queen of Swords, wow. Why is the Queen of Swords here twice? Maybe you're dealing with a Libra, or could be a Gemini or Aquarius, but I see the Queen of Swords as Libra. Nine of Pentacles. Okay. I'm going to get 2 for the Emperor, because I did not technically ask for that. Yeah, 6 of Wands. 1 more for the Emperor. Oh, okay, I got 8 of Pentacles. Wow. Maybe some of you are actually climbing a mountain. 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like I must be missing something, or maybe things are just so good in the Leo collective that I am like tied to, but this is really the only thing to talk about. I don't think it's a big deal. Like, someone here, okay, and the Queen of Swords can sometimes be characterized as a widow. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I guess it's possible that that's something I didn't think of. So, I mean, you potentially could be dealing with someone who lost a spouse, or maybe you have. Obviously, you would know if that's you. And maybe, I mean, God, do I even need to say? Do I need to even go into detail on how that would make someone defensive, right? That would make someone apprehensive. And I mean, I don't even know like how much time that takes, right, to get over that, to be open again. But in the middle, we have the Queen of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles. So I do feel like, once again, if this is someone else, or you translate it, this person here, this Queen of Swords, needs time to be self-sufficient. They need time to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. So, like, that doesn't mean, how do I put this? Like, if this is someone else that you're dealing with, that doesn't mean rejection, right? It's just a self-awareness that, you know, I mean, that's a good thing, because that means that somebody is very emotionally mature, and they know their own needs, and they know their own, like, capabilities. So they need to get to this place. Normally, the Queen of Pentacles, this is not the Rider-Waite, this is the B Tarot, quickly becoming my favorite deck. Normally in the Nine of Pentacles, she's keeping a certain number of pentacles for herself, and she's willing to give away, I think it's like 6 and 3. So that's oh my god, oh no, it was 43. I got excited for a minute. I thought that number was coming up again. So maybe 36 is important, or 63. My light is falling asleep. I'm trying to move. Okay, anyway, so it's like symbolizing her ability to take care of herself and have the energy, the resources, what have you, to also give to others. And sometimes, I mean, sometimes people never get to that point, right? Like, sometimes it takes everything a person has just to take care of the things they need to do outside of a relationship. And yeah, some people are also just selfish and are never really willing to give. But certainly when you go through something traumatic, damaging, some kind of trauma, you're in no position to have to give to somebody else. Because I mean, not to sound like mean, because I feel like this could be somebody you're dealing with, but like, you shouldn't have to. You need to put all that energy into yourself. I mean, it's an exhausting process to have to heal and to regain your sense of safety and security in the world. It's a lot. And, to try to pressure someone before they're ready is kind of setting yourself up for failure, right? Like, it's like you're engaging with someone who just isn't ready and isn't going to be able to give to you the way, they probably would want to, which, I mean, that very likely will lead to you being exhausted, because you're going to be having to give, right? You're going to be giving and giving and not receiving anything back, and that's how you end up just kind of self-destructing. And you might be helping that person, right? You might be giving your energy to that person, but that's not a healthy, balanced relationship. And I think that's what I have to say about that. I think that enlightened me to the message, Leo. Okay, so we move to the final row, though, with the Emperor and the Six of Wands, clarifying with the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, Seven of Pentacles to me is about waiting. It's about sometimes withdrawing your energy, taking a step back to assess the situation, and deciding whether or not your effort is worth it, right? And we have the Eight of Pentacles also coming out. The Eight of Pentacles says your effort is worth it, that you will see results for the effort that you put into a situation. Okay, so, I mean, we have 7, 8, 9. We have a progression here. Well, actually, we have a degression, but I don't think this 9 is talking about you. I think it's talking about someone else. Either way, the ultimate outcome here is the Emperor with the Six of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. Like, the effort you put in will be worth it. It will pay off. How will it pay off? Six of Wands. You're at the top of the world. The Emperor, we could also say, is at the top of the world. He literally rules, right? Like, he is holding the world in his hand in this picture. So, I mean, there's something about this. I don't even know. It's cracking me up. And there's a mountain in the back. Like, what is going on? Once again, Aries energy. I feel like there's something like I'm missing, like a hidden message here or something. But I mean, that's all I see is like, if you just wait, if you just have patience, if you just evaluate the situation, you'll see that your efforts are going to pay off, and you're going to be sitting at the top of the world. Like, I'm cracking up. So, I don't know, Leo, it's just so self-explanatory that I don't know what else to say. Of course, for some of you, right, like if you're not, like if this is you and you, if this is you with yourself, there might be an encouragement here for you to talk about something you went through. Okay, I'll take it in that direction really quick. Some sort of transition. It doesn't have to be a death of someone, but some transition that you've gone through in your life. I'm sure you'll know what that is. This, I feel, is encouragement for you when you're ready, when you've reached this Nine of Pentacles, state of self-sufficiency and groundedness, when you've gained independence from the trauma or damage that this transition caused you. I feel like with the Queen of Swords here twice, that's an encouragement for you to talk about it, for you to perhaps help others, because I feel like that's a theme here. And I think you'll know what I mean and what context that that speaking or talking about your experience would be in. And if you do feel inclined in that direction, I feel like it's going to be super fucking successful with the Emperor and the Six of Wands. I think you're going to end up coming out looking like a freaking boss. Like, you really achieved something, you really won the war, and you really took a situation and figured out how to benefit from it, right? So that could be another message. Maybe this has something to do with work or starting a business or getting some kind of promotion or recognition for some of you, if this is just a solo situation. But more strongly, I do feel that this is a dynamic with another person for most of you. Alright, let's get an Enchanted Map Oracle card for Leo, please. Holy shit. The card is Rock Bottom. Right. Rock bottom. Well, where do you need to go before you go to the top of the world? The bottom. Makes perfect sense to me. Alright, what does this say? Rock bottom, number 10. Surrender and acceptance are the keys to freedom. So we're talking about freedom a lot as well. So, as difficult as it may be to accept, it seems that you've reached a point where you can go no further in the same manner in which you've been doing things. Perhaps you've hit a proverbial brick wall or experienced a deep sense of loss and don't know where to turn. The old way of doing things must be discarded fully in order to move onward and upward. A new direction and a new strategy are called for. The only way out is through surrender. Accept things as they are and admit that you have no idea what to do next. If you wait in that heartfelt moment of release, then a stairway will appear like magic, and all manner of synchronicities will show you the way to higher ground. What is going on? The Rock Bottom card is a sign that a miracle is about to occur, but only if you let go completely. Wow. Well, yeah, didn't I say that? Transition. When you go through a death moment, right? A transition, it fundamentally changes you. And if you don't surrender to that change, if you don't flow with the change, then well, that's kind of like a toxic positivity vibe, right? Like, it's like being in denial. But the Queen of Swords is here twice, so, I mean, you see very clearly, Leo, you're not blind to whatever needs to change, if that's the case. But I can't. With the rock bottom, right? The only way to go from the rock bottom is up. And I feel like you're going up, Leo. It's just something about, I don't know, you take whatever you think it means for you. I don't know. Just a little tweak, right? In the energy, just a little bit of time, patience, grace, understanding and compassion, perhaps. But I can't get over it. Okay. You're on the way up, Leo. That's all I can say. If you're at rock bottom now, hang in there. Because I've been feeling this energy for a while of you on the way up. So, if it's not here right now, it's definitely coming. Alright. I love you guys. I hope this helps. Hang in there. I'll see you next time.